Okay, let's look at how to set up your autoresponder series with Aweber. So the first thing you want to do when you log into your Aweber account is create your list. So you just go up here, click on that, click on this green button, create a list. Now it'll give you a default list name. You probably want to change it to something that's more meaningful to you. Oops. But I'm just going to leave it as this default just for this demo. So list description, let's say your list was about weight loss for women over 50, as we are doing for our Autoresponder campaign. So I would just put something like weight loss over 50, just something so you know what the list is when you go to mail to it. You don't want to mail the wrong offer to the wrong list. Not a good thing at all. So, give it an appropriate description. I'm just going to call mine for Ducks demo, just so for this. Okay, so the from name. This will be the person that your recipient sees their email coming from. So you don't want to leave it as your own name. So I would change this to the name of your spokesperson. In this case, our spokesperson for this purpose is Sue Hendrickson, because that's one of our avatars for our email sequence. So let's type her name in. Okay, address is the address of that person. I wouldn't use a Hotmail or a Gmail account. I would go buy a domain and set up an email on there. It's just, it looks more professional than a Gmail account as well. Sometimes those get picked up in spam filters a little bit more easier, so I would definitely, like I say, go buy a domain and set up an email address on the domain. Okay, notifications. You can choose to have an email sent to you every time someone subscribes to your list. It's really optional. Another thing setting this up will do, if someone unsubscribes, they can send you an email back why they unsubscribe. So that's a personal choice. So we're going to go ahead and save these settings. Okay, so then we have our first part set up. Next we go to personalize your list. So company name. We'll just call our company Fast Weight Loss, just for sake of argument. Website URL, whatever your domain name is, goes here. Okay. Email signature. You can choose to have a signature added to each email if you choose. You don't have to. You can also, if you have a logo, you can upload that here. Social media sharing. This is if you want to share your emails with either Twitter or Facebook. It'll automatically post to them if you choose this option. You just click on those buttons and then you'll enter your social account information there. Global text snippets. I don't really mess with this. This would be more if you have like a brick and mortar business. They give an example. If you owned a bakery, you could include your store hours. So that's another optional item. I don't typically use it. Oops, we have a problem with our website URL because I'm trying to type with one hand and hold my snowball mic with the other. So let's fix that. Now what? Should be fine. There. Okay, good. Okay, so we've successfully saved our settings. Confirmed opt-in. Okay, you can edit these. This one I really like to edit the intro. We received your request for information from the default blah blah blah. Change that to your spokesperson's name. We've received your request for information from Sue Hendricks. Okay, whatever your spokesperson's name happens to be. In some niches, it might be your own name, or put in the name of the avatar that you're using for the campaign. Okay. You can add a custom closing if you like. That's entirely up to you. And this is one you need to pay attention to. Require opt-in on web forms. Now, Aweber will by default require double opt-ins on everything unless you change it. I went into a little bit about the pros and cons of single and double opt-in, so you have to decide which one's right for your own business. If you choose not to have double opt-in and you just want to use single opt-in, press this button and confirm that you want to disable it. If you get a lot of spam complaints, Aweber may force you to use double opt-in, but you're not bad spammers, so that shouldn't happen, okay? So success page, this will be the page that people will be sent to when they confirm their email. You don't really have to worry about that if you use single opt-in, but you know, we'll just do, let's see. We'll type in fast weightloss.com/success. Don't check this button that says past subscriber info for personalizing this page if you're using WordPress. It will mess everything up. And how do I know this? Because I've done it. So just take my word for it. If you don't, check this button if you're using WordPress. Okay, so then we save our settings. Alright, so we are ready to rock and roll now. Now we just go up to messages and we want to choose follow-up series. Create your first follow-up. Okay, for templates, I mean, they have all kinds of lovely templates. I prefer usually just to use the plain template. Boring, I know, but it looks more like an email from a friend, which is what we're going for here. Okay, so enter your subject line. They have an option to personalize it, so you could put in, let's see, let's just click on this. You could add your subscriber's full name, first name, whatever you want to do. Typically, I don't use it. A lot of people like it, but the only thing that worries me about it is sometimes it seems like there's something screwed up, and then you'll see the curly brackets first name, and it really, to me, doesn't look good on an email. I typically don't even use it at all. So again, we have the personalization option here. We can delete it. All we have to do is click on that little blue field and delete personalization. So here is where you would copy and paste in your email. Let me just go grab one here quickly. And then you can see my disaster desktop here. Oops. Okay. So let me just grab this quickly. Paste that in. I usually like to make the font bigger. I use Arial usually, but you can choose any of your choice. I like to make it 16 point just because it's a little bit easier to read. Okay, so that looks good, and then I have to come down here and find my links somewhere. There's some links. Here we go. So when you're loading up your emails, you're going to see link in brackets and then closed on the other side. Make sure you take that out. You don't want to leave that in there. That's just to indicate where to put your affiliate link. So then we're going to highlight where we want to link here. Go up and find the little icon at the top for our link. And then we just type in the URL for your affiliate link. Okay, then it'll say the link is good. Okay, I usually like to make my links slightly bigger than the rest of the text in the email, so I'll typically make them 18 just so they stand out a little bit more. You can play around if you want to change the font color. Sometimes I'll make red links instead. That's up to you. If you want to highlight a little text in your email, you can do that. Just go up here where there's the yellow and then choose your color. So there we have some yellow highlighting. It can be effective, just don't overdo it. So there we go. We save it. Now before we do anything else, we want to do one of the most important steps of all. Oh, just before I go into that, just so you know, Aweber has different elements up here at the top, and you can just drag and drop these into the appropriate place in your email. If you wanted to add social buttons, you can go, drop those in there. You'd have to have these set up with your accounts, of course, but you can add a button. So put the link for your button. You can add an image, same thing. You can upload a file, or they have an image gallery that you can use as well. Just take a look at that. It's not cooperating for me, but that's okay. Okay, so the most important part before you send your email is always, always, always test your email. So we want to send a test to make sure the email is rendered properly when you look at it, and check your links that they're working. Otherwise, you're not going to get credit for your sales. So that's, if you have to, when you're first starting to email, put a little sticky note up on your corner of your computer. Always test my links. Okay, so we're going to send the test. Okay, so that's all good. Now we'd go, this is if we put our picture in here, that's what that is. So we'd go into our email, check and make sure everything looks good. And if it does, we just click next. And then we hit save and exit. Okay, so this is our first email. Okay, so then if we want to send another one, we just do create another follow-up. And repeat the same process here. That's all there is to it. Pretty simple stuff. Thanks.